for coming. If anyone's got a mobile phone, can you just please put it on silent or turn it off? We've got some speakers coming in a minute. If there's any questions or anything for the officials or the speakers, please wait till the end. We've got Dot here tonight from Bolton, the Bolton Organiser. She's come to give us a speech. We've also got Andy, her husband, there tonight. He's the Bolton fundraiser. And those two people are out there on their own, and they're doing a good job up there fighting the indigenous population. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Dot. Dot.
Hello. Yours. Right, okay, hang on, let me just do my phone. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Right. Sorry about that. Technology. Who wants it? Right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. I've spoken recently in the Manchester area, and I basically tackled about what is ahead of us, i.e. because of the immigrations and because of the Muslim way of life, we have this problem of our young teenagers being groomed and raped, and all this paraphernalia going on, which we are all well aware about. So I don't really need to go into that again. But what I touched upon on the last meeting was the new changes that are coming into effect as of April. And I don't know how many people it is actually hitting it up here right now at the minute. It can't be that many because there's nothing being said about it. Not even when you go shopping. Not even when you go and see people who are in the same boat as you. Nobody is mentioning anything about anything. And I think it's not got in here yet, and it needs to go in because we've only got 2 months left before it strikes, basically. So let us see what's in store. We are having what is called the bedroom tax, which I think is the most barbaric and the most cruel and the most evil taxation that this government has ever thought about. How dare they? There is people who are working on a low wage, who are entitled to income tax, not to income tax, to housing benefits, sorry. And because these people are entitled to housing benefit, doesn't mean to say that these people sit on their backsides and do nothing. These people are doing hard, physical jobs, all said and done. You get up in the morning and sort your family out as a woman. Then you go to work all day. You got to do the shopping as well. And you find it very hard because you've got to make ends meet. Your money doesn't go that far because, remember, you are on a low wage. And then you've got to come home, see to the family, and then if you got older kids and it's like, Mum, Peter has got this and that t-shirt, a Nike one, and he's got Puma trainers, and I really love, and well, I'm sorry, love, I can't afford that. This is the boat those families are sitting in, dead and simple. And those families are expected to pay another 10% extra for an extra bedroom they might have free. They have to pay 15% if they got 2 bedrooms free. You got another section of these families who are going to be hit, which is a young mum or a family with 2 children. old. One of them may only be a baby. One of them is just about a toddler. And those people are living in a 3-bedroom house. They've only just got it. They've only just decorated it, which incidentally, if they do it themselves, is hard work, on top of working, and on top of spending time with their children, on top of doing all the washing and all the household chores and gardening and whatever comes your way that you need to do. We are all aware of that, except Mr. Cameron, of course. And they get told, you can't live in this 3-bedroom house anymore because you are entitled to housing benefit. And your children have to share the bedroom until they are 10 years old. Well, it doesn't mean to say that when these children are 10 years old that you're going to get a 3-bedroom house look like that, because there won't be any, for starters, and there will be a waiting list. So these children will have to share the bedroom beyond the age of 10 in order for this family to get a 3-bedroom house for 5 minutes until these children grow up and go into uni, for then the parents have an extra spare bedroom and it's like, sorry, you got to move back out again. This is what's in store. So, okay, yeah, all right, then we'll have to find. Well, in the case of the way the rent stands, I'd say that on average, a person with a 2-bedroom spare house, so you're living as a couple, the children have flown the nest, you're now living in a 3-bedroom house, and you've got 2 bedrooms spare, you have to find, in average, about £20 a week in order to stay in your house. And you have to find about between £10 and £15 on an average to stay in a house where you got 1 spare bedroom. Now, you're unemployed, or you're with a partner who's disabled, and your limited income tells you, hang on a minute, how am I going to find this money? On top of that, you've got to pay your water rates, your council tax, incidentally, which is increased as well, because you have to pay something more towards that as well. So, basically, how are you going to spend your benefit when it comes through the door? You have to spend it on extra rent, you have to spend it on extra council tax, you have to spend it on your water rates, on top of that is your electricity, on top of that is your gas. So that leaves you what, with maybe £5 to live on for the next fortnight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are being starved out of our house, and if we can't pay our rent and our council tax, what is going to happen when we go into rent arrears? You get an eviction notice. It is as simple as that, an eviction notice. And then it's only a question of time before you're out on the street. Oh yeah, you may say, okay, then I'll end up out in the street, but there's hostel places. Yeah, all right, there's hostel places, but only so many. There's already a crisis with the young people. There's not enough hostel places for the young people. So how the hell do you expect a council, a town, to have hostel places for the older generation that is also going to be turfed out on the street? It's as simple as that. It needs to go in here. Why isn't it? It needs to go in. So what is going to happen? Not only are we going to be out on the street in all kinds of weather, look how the weather has been recently. You're out on the street, you haven't got anything. You haven't got a coat to put over your name. On top of that, you've nothing to feed yourself with, so you're starving. And what they're gonna do to you. So this is coming to the indigenous, the native population of England. We are being displaced. What did Mr. Cameron say recently on TV? He says, there's an overflow of foreigners in London. We need to get these people into homes. We are now looking at places who are empty. Now the sweet and innocent people who are sat in front of the television, eating their tea, watching the news at night are thinking, oh yeah, there is an empty house down the road that's been empty for about a year or so. They will be putting somebody in there. Yeah, they will, after it's been bought by the council and sorted out and all that, yeah. But the other houses that are going to be empty as from next April will be your houses. The ones that you lived in while you were getting housing benefit. So while you are out on the streets, all them foreigners are going to come in and be in your house. Because they will get the council tax benefits paid. And especially if you're an immigrant, because when you're an immigrant, you are getting a luxury flat, you're getting all the furniture, you're getting all the bedding and plates and knives and forks and cookery equipment that you need. Oh, and let's not forget that the furniture can't be second-hand, the white furniture can't be second-hand. It's got to be brand new, you see. And then on top of that, you get a card and you get told, come to our office once a fortnight and we'll top you up with gas and electricity. Well, we lot are struggling to find money to keep us afloat as it is. And it's got even worse as of April. It's as simple as that. Is it going in, ladies and gentlemen? It's about time it did. What is going to happen to the soldiers that are fighting Afghanistan? These people that are putting their lives on the line. Well, you have a mother or a mother and father living in a council house and they're getting housing benefit and they're saying, well, we've got a spare bedroom, so if our son comes home, he can have our bedroom. Oh, no, not allowed, because that is one extra bedroom that is needed for somebody else. So you got to move in a one-bedroom house, because only one adult couple is entitled to one bedroom, right? And the son who comes home has nowhere to live, is expected to fend for himself on the street because there's nowhere else for him. And this is a person that laid their lives on the line for this country. I mean, I ask you, what is the sanity of this government at all about? I think it's downright evil. It's nasty. And it's I'm speechless with what this government is doing to you people. Now then, there's no way that these people are taking a cut in their wages, because this leaflet that Gary has produced, the chief executive, Barbara Spicer, is getting £211,000 a week. A year.
A week?
A year. A week, sorry. Support services, Martin Vickers, £124,000 a year. Social care, Sue Lightrup, £133,777 a year. Community safety, Ben Dolan, £124,038 Labour Mayor Ian Stewart, £69,000. Labour Press Officer Matt Finnegan, £66,500. Labour Deputy Mayor David Lancaster, £44,800. £23,265. Labour Mayor's Cabinet, 13 assistants mayors, £23,091, and that is a part-time job, ladies and gentlemen. I'm shocked. What? All councillors' allowances up to £910,000 annually, and special allowances alone add up to £307,259. I mean, I ask you, these people who are on these kind of wages have absolutely no comprehension what the battle for the ordinary Joe Bloggs is all about. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the VMP party membership also. We are the ordinary Joe Bloggs, and we have to put something into this government's path to stop this government. Because I don't think this government is actually fit to run the country. We're supposed to be coming into a triple recession. What about them promises Mr. Cameron has made that he's getting this country out of the mess? Well, he hasn't done so because up to now he's actually borrowed more this year or last year than he borrowed before. And so it's not working. And who is paying for it? Us lot. Not them, us lot. And we, ladies and gentlemen, not just the people in the British National Party, but everybody who is an ordinary Joe Bloggs who goes out voting, we need to do something. And that is, we need to, when it's voting time, we need to get off our backsides and we need to go to the polling station and we need to vote for the right party. Because it's no good 1 year when the elections are going that you're voting Conservatives, and then the next year when the main elections are coming, oh well, let's give Labour another chance. But we all know about Labour lies at the end of the day. So next year, next time when the main elections are coming, are you really going to vote Conservatives again? Are you really going to vote Labour again? You're surely not going to vote Liberals, are you? You know, so there's only one party left for you guys, and that is to vote the British National Party, because the British National Party has honestly the only thing for the British people at heart. The British National Party has got a manifesto in place to actually get this country out of the mess. Charity at the end of this day, Mr. Cameron, begins at home. Not foreigners. These are people that have laid their lives on the line for this country, I mean the soldiers. And if you do want to punish some people, find the people who upset the government and upset when you say, oh well, we need to get everybody into work and all that. But you find out the people that are lazy and don't want to go to work, and you make them pay for it. But Mr. Cameron and ladies and gentlemen, you have got carers at home as well. Carers are at home looking after their loved one or looking after children, right? Now, these people work hard and these people need their sleep. And because of circumstances, these carers sometimes need the extra bedroom to have that rest that they need. How much money is the carers actually saving this government? Because if they weren't about, all them people would be in a home, in a carer's home. And we do know how some of those people get treated in a carer's home. And that's why these carers are bending backwards not to have their loved ones in a care home because they are fearing on how those people are getting treated. Ah yes, and another thing I remember about this bedroom tax as well, by the way. Foster children don't count. So don't think because you got an extra bedroom, it's like, oh well, I'm young enough, I can foster a child and I may be able to keep the house and do some good. Because the foster child doesn't actually count as a member of your family. You are then expected to still move in a one-bedroom place and hang your foster child from the ceiling, I would suspect. That's the only place left for it. The child. You know, what about other stuff? I mean, sometimes you get people on a kidney machine, you know, and that kidney machine makes a noise during the night when these people that need it are being connected to it. Well, the partner of that person is expected to sleep in the same room as this kidney machine. I mean, where the hell do you find the room for a kidney machine in a one-bedroom house? Or flat even, I ask you. This world, this country is actually going stupid. It's going to the dogs. As simple, yes, well said. It's going to the dogs, and I'm being very polite about this one. Not only that, but I seriously feel that this country is being put under threat because even the army is cutting down, ladies and gentlemen. And now I don't feel that's right either. You have got equipment that is being put out of commission, ships that are being put out of commission because all of a sudden they are too old. And then all of a sudden we've got too much army personnel. Well, what happens when it all blows up? What happens when all these threats that come from the Al-Qaeda side, what happens if they all come true? Where is the army then? What are we going to do? Because the French are going to be busy with their own lives, so they won't come over to help us. You know? So we have really got to take this on board, and we really have to start thinking about what we are doing with not our future, but the future of our children, because they will have it much, much worse than what we will ever experience. The children, the babies that are here now, they will grow up in absolute hell if we don't do something about it. And there's nothing racist about that at all. And I leave you now to think about that because it's hell of a lot to take on board. But you really do need to take this on board. And everybody who sees this on YouTube or on BNP TV, you have got to go out and you have got to tell your friends, you have got to tell your family, and you've got to tell everybody that you need to go out and you need to vote the British National Party and get them in. Likewise, I urge all the members that are within the BNP, you got to stand. Because if there is nobody about to vote for, then we won't get in. So it is just as important for us to stick our necks out, which will be chopped off anyway in a matter of time. But while we are still here, we have to stick our necks out, and we will have to stand, and we'll have to fight, and that is the only way we can fight. So let's get out there, and let's do it. Thank you very much.
That is exactly right. The idiots that are running this country and are running the councils, they're only in it for what, their own personal gains. They say we're all in it together. But you look at some of the wages that are taken from Salford City Council, for instance, they're not in it with us. We're the normal, you know, working class people, and some of our members are on the dole and they need help. And we're not in it together at all. So what it is time to do is to stand up against them. It's time to replace them with British National Party candidates and councillors and MPs until we take the country back. So thank you guys for coming here tonight and putting that We're going to have a short break. There's a couple of papers on the back there that you can buy off Alan. We're going to have a collection, and I'll come back after the break and say what the branch has been up to. So thank you.